Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Peace to the gods. Rahabat Yazar, Hatep Yazar. I wanted to touch on the fact that I was saying that I was dealing with Asiatic Wunuwapian Islamism. But you see, I did some further studying and realized that, or came to the conclusion that the word Islam finds its root in the ancient Kemetic word Sareem. And Sareem is said to be the tear of Amen-Re. And that the tear falls into the Nile. And the Nile is Muhammad, because that's where it starts, right? In the northern region of the country. And then goes into the what would be called upper Kemet. You know what I mean? So Sareem is the mercy or the tear of Amen-Re. And Amen-Re is one of the ancestors of the Nubian man. So when I came to this conclusion and realized that I've been calling my form of, I don't want to say religion because we don't have a word for religion in Wunuwapu. We say opinion, right? So in my opinion, I am no longer following Islamism. I am now following Sareem, or it could be pronounced Sareem. Sareem, Saram, right? Which is the root of Psalm, Salam, Shalom, Islam. So when we say Saram or Sareem, we are saying the mercy of Amen-Re, who dwells in the celestial Nile. And the celestial Nile, as we know it in ancient Kemet, is Nun, which is spoken of in the Quran. Right? Because what does it say in Surah Al-Qaram? Right? Bismillah al-Rahman al-Rahim. Nun وَقَرَامِ وَمَا يَسْطُرُونَ. Right? You hear the Nun وَقَرَامِ وَمَا يَسْطُرُونَ. You see? Right there. By the record by which men write with the pen. Because you see, if you break it down even further, Noon is El-Nor. And they say that Noon represents the state of non-order before the designing of creation. Right? Which would be what? The Big Bang. So the Big Bang then says, Kun fayakun. You see? Kun fayakun. Be and it is. Right? Okay, so then you say, well, what does this have to do with Islamism and Sareem or Sareem? The fact is that the singularity that Noon represents as the first creation makes him the first Adam. And his counterpart is Nunet, which would be the first Eve. Because the oldest beings in the universe, it's a contest between the ones you call Anunnaki and the ones you call Natiru. Okay? So when it comes to which one is older, there is a lot of debate when you come to this plateau of knowledge. Because this is where you can no longer reference what is written on earth, because now you're in the stars. You see? So, if the 5% in the Nation of Islam say the Son of Man, who is Anunnaki, brought Islam to the planet Earth, and that the planet Earth is the home of Islam, then you're saying that Islam isn't intergalactic or the God of the universe. Because if the Asiatic black man follows Islam, then you're saying that the Asiatic black man's home is planet Earth. But the Son of Man didn't come from planet Earth, so how could what they believe in or what they follow, what they use for a science or religion or a philosophy or a political system, the 5 P's, mind you, right? And say, okay, we're from on high, yet Islam is the home. No, Islam's home is Al-Ardu. If you say that, then you're saying one of two things, and it can only be one of two things. That they instituted Islam on Lulu Amilu, or the Anunnaki are not intergalactic traveling beings, and that they're from planet Earth originally. Those are the only options you have. You see, because that's what I mean. So if you say Islam, the planet Earth's original deen is Islam, and you say that you descend from the Son of Man, and the Son of Man we now know is Anunnaki, right? Then you're saying that it was instituted on this planet, and that Islam began here. But then, in, I believe, it's either the 9th or 10th degree of the student enrollment in the Supreme Wisdom, that it says Islam is older than the sun, moon, and star. And if it's older than the sun, then Islam has to be older than the earth. It can't be both at the same time. That's why we have a discrepancy with what we're talking about when we say Islam is the inhabitant of planet, what we would say now as Tiamat. You see? Now watch here in the element now. If I'm dealing with Sareem, and Sareem is one of the actions that take place intergalactically, right, from one solar system to the next. So when the Sirius or Sopadet Najem rises in the east, and then the Nile floods, that is an intergalactic alignment to the planet Earth, making Sareem intergalactic, right? That which transverses stars. Because if you're like, oh, well, same with Islam and Ramadan. Well, you say Islam and Ramadan, well, guess what? You follow the month of Ramadan by the calculation of the lunar calendar, in which is within this solar system, so it's not intergalactic. Yet in the Quran it states in the 52nd surah, in the order of the Sunni Muslims, that Allah is Lord of the Shira. Shira being translated as Sirius star constellation, the mighty star. Yet, every institution that Islam has is basically bounded in this solar system. It goes no further. Salah is done by the positions of the sun. Ramadan and Hajj are calculated by the lunar calendar. There is nothing intergalactic about Islam. So when I say Islam, I have limited myself to this planet, because Islam's home is planet Earth. The religion of planet Earth is Islam. And the Sunnis will tell you that Islam is submission. So you were under the submission of the sun, moon, and star. And Allah said, do not worship the sun or adore the moon, but praise Allah, and that will be better for you. You see? So we follow the position of the sun to do salah. We follow the moon calendar to calculate Hajj, and we also calculate Ramadan by the lunar calendar as well. As Muslims or Muhammadans, or as I like to say, and y'all know that already, Muhammadans. Muhammadans. You see? But let's get to the point. So, therefore, in realizing that Islam is the inhabitant of planet Earth, how can you seek to scale the heavens, right? The seven heavens that exist, if everything you do is locked under and goes no further than the sun and moon in this solar system? Please explain that to me. Where are you going? Right? Then your Quran references Iliyun, which we call Sakat Aru, and says the record is kept there for the righteous. And that Sajin, which we call Amet, or the devourer of the heart, in the hall of judgment, which is the second death. You see what I'm saying? Is planet Earth. Or if you take it to the Anunnaki realization, they said that the heavens was where they wanted to be, and that Earth was oh hell. Yahala. Hallelujah. You see? That's what I'm saying. Submission. Sareem, the mercy of Amen Ray. Deen al-Islam, submission to Dina. Who's Dina? The moon, your star in Crescent. Right? That's in your religion. That's what you guys believe. Though you hide it behind different elements and say it's this or that. But you see, some of us really know. Because, Like I keep saying, I'm one of the golden children. You can't play me, man. It's not going to work. Right? Because you don't even know where the caressing comes from. The caressing comes from the Natir Hansu. And Hansu would be equivalent to Nuxu or Gabriel, who brought the message of Ruhu Qudus, right? Kalim Allah, to Mother Maryam. See that? Beautiful, isn't she? But all I'm saying is, you gotta realize one thing. Hansu is the first deity, and beside him, also I don't mean deity, sorry, yeah, we'll say deity in our definition, because deity means immortal, and immortal means not man, and they're not man, they're not Homo sapien. So that explains why we say deity or God, right? Because if you take it to your Quran, we go back to the same surah that I just quoted about noon, and then say to you, Muhammad, we have made you a khulukin azim. That means khulukin, the root of khulukin is creation, and azim means great, grand, or supreme. To say, we made you supreme being. Yet, y'all deny. Yet, at the same time, you blindly follow the hadith of Muhammad, but you will not claim that Muhammad is supreme being, because you believe Allah is supreme being. How can Allah be supreme being, mind you, if Allah says be? He makes being. He cannot be being if he makes being, because you said Allah has no partners. So if Allah has no partners, therefore there can be no being in his existence, because he is the creator of being and existence. You see what I'm saying? Let me explain it to you again. If you're saying Allah is a being, then that means a being is something created. It's part of creation. There's no way out of that. If it is a being, it is created. Allah cannot be a being. This is why we say, what does it say in Quran? It says that every angel has malaikati, has its known position. But when it was referring to that verse, what it refers to me is that it's saying that not even the angels who will bear the throne of Allah know the position of Allah, because Allah is Esatawa Allah, that which ascends and keeps ascending, which would be almost parallel to the ever continuing expansion of the universe. That's the only parallel I can draw about Isatawa Allah and explaining it in parable. Right? But let me give you this. If you say that the Son of Man is God and that there's no mystery God, and you search for 76 trillion years, yet you say the name of your higher power is the same name as those who claim that their deity, right? So the name of Allah, you say Allah cannot be a mystery God, and then you have others telling you that Allah is a mystery God. How does that work? And your philosophy or ideology didn't come into Islam until the 19th century. So the lessons that Master Farad Muhammad alayhi wasallam brought cannot be completely right and exact. And if they are right and exact, then the Sunnis and the Shiites and the Sufis and most other types of Muslim that are wrong in saying that Allah is a mystery God. But how can something be Son of Man and mystery God at the same time? See? What did Allah say? Allah said that if it were His will, all on earth would have believed. Will you then, Muhammad, compel man to believe? So the Nation of Islam isn't going to compel the Sunnis, and the Sunnis are not going to compel the Nation of Islam under the direction of their Farrakhan, alayhi wasalam. You see? And that's what He said. Allah said in the surah called Adornments that mankind were one community in disbelief, mind you. That what? He would give them all. Or He gives them, if one man were a community, if all men were a community in disbelief, He would give them everything they wanted on the planet. Gold, silver, diamonds, jewels, etc. Money and all of that. And make it easy for them to find their way to hellfire. You see? Everybody is unified in disagreeability. No one agrees with anybody. We've become one community that disbelieves in parts of Quran, that disbelieves in Hadith, as I do. I'm guilty of it too. But how do we reach what's right and exact if Islam has, I believe, 72 sets or more even? You see, this is why I had to say, all right, you know what, Sareem. And no one can argue with me because they don't know what it is. You see what I'm saying? Because I don't perform any longer as-salatu facing the black stone. You see? I perform Pa'ashutat facing Orion, Sahu, or Sopadet. Sirius. Because my creation is of 5 ancient beings. Nomos, Natiru, Anunnaki, El-Ul, and and Shaggy. And am I saying those are the gods? Yes. But are they Allah? No. You cannot triangulate Allah. The Christians tried that. And amongst themselves, they disagree. And then the Christians disagree with the Muslims. And then the Jews disagree with both the Christians and the Muslims. You see? In the Abrahamisms, there's no unity. If there was supposed to, if there were going to be unity amongst any religions, it should be those three. But they can't even get along within themselves. And the same disease is now reaching Wunuwatu, because we're doing the same shit that they're doing. We're arguing points and saying the master teacher said this or didn't say that or did this and said this and said that, and we believe in this part of the doctrine but not this part, and this suits us and this doesn't suit us. Everywhere you look, we are one community in disbelief. And if it's not disbelief, then it's disagreeability. And yes, I know we have the double nature, but we are to master disagreeability to use it for the purpose of agreeability. That was my overstanding of that point. You see? Therefore, I don't get it. So I just rest in Sareem. 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 Right? And I deal with Muhammad. Right? The messenger of Amen Ray. And I turn my face to either the Milky Way, Sahu, or Sopadet. I don't bow to the black stone. I don't even do the same type of salutation as a form of worship as the Sunnis. I'm not there. I'm in space. I'm no longer on earth. My mind, I know what I come from, and I know where I'm going. The rest of y'all figure it out. Because you see, I'm out of the war between the white man, the Asiatic black man, and the Euro-Arab and Indo-Chinese. I'm not in that war anymore. I'm trying to jump over galaxies, man. That's where my mind's at. That's how I feel. But I'm gonna leave it at that. So let us recite Surah Al-Asr. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wal Asr inna insana lafi khusr. Illa radina aman wa amilu sarihati wa tawassul bil haqi wa tawassul bis sabr.